Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I rise in strong support of this legislation. I'm sure it's no surprise to any of you, but I've heard all the testimony. I appreciate the vast majority of it, but I can tell you that as a representative of a community that is long gone in terms of being victims to what I would categorize as nothing other than street terrorism in our neighborhoods, it's important that we do something and that we do it now. Every day we read a news story or we turn on the TV and hear a new tragedy that occurred as a result 99% of the time from gun violence committed by members of street gangs. As Representative Acevedo said, these aren't individuals that we think might be in a gang, that we could say kind of look like they might be gang members, but people who have at this point no longer any fear of the law or of the police. They will look a police officer in the eye before they pull the trigger and tell them that they're a proud member of a gang. This is something that needs attention now. We've heard about Officer Valadez, his sacrifice that he made for all of us. But let me remind you, not just about the sworn officers who risk their lives day in and day out, but about regular people, people like all of you, moms, dads. In my district last year, Mrs. Barrera, who was trick-or-treating with her 3 little kids on Halloween at 6:30 in the afternoon, right in front of her house, opening the gate to her home, when she was 7 months pregnant and the victim of a gang fight that resulted in her getting shot in the head as she was holding the hand of her 4-year-old daughter dressed as a princess. This happens all the time. It should never happen. Mrs. Barrera lost that child, obviously, but more importantly, those 3 kids lost a loving mother at 6:30 in the afternoon, broad daylight, by none other than street thugs, animals. Call them what you will. But these are people with no value for, they have no value or no respect for human life. We talk about the wars in Afghanistan. We talk about the war zones in Iraq. We're living in war zones in the inner city of Chicago. And if we don't pay attention to this issue now and actually do something rather than just talk about it, every community area in Illinois is going to start to see an increased prevalence of this violence. So I commend Representative Acevedo. I commend State's Attorney Anita Alvarez, and I thank them for their work on this initiative. Certainly give my support, and I would ask the rest of this body to do the right thing. I'm sure we will, and vote aye.